All right, hey everybody, welcome to episode 6 of the Stop and Give Me 20 podcast. 20 minutes with some of the world's top fitness professionals. I'm your host, Anthony Renna. You can check out the show notes at stop20podcast.com. That's stop20podcast.com. Before you do that, though, go to iTunes, subscribe to the show, leave us a rating and a review. We're new. We really need it. Want to get in that new and noteworthy category. All right, for today's episode, I have on Alwyn Cosgrove, and Alwyn is the co-owner of Results Fitness in Santa Clarita, California. Co-owns that with his wife, Rachel. It has been twice named one of America's top gyms by Men's Health magazine. He's also co-authored 5 books in the New Rules of Lifting series, and he currently spends his time co-consulting on fitness training, co-training clients, co-training his staff at Results Fitness, and co-speaking on the fitness lecture circuit. He's gained most of his fame, though, on the Business of Fitness segment on the wildly popular Strength Coach podcast. Alwyn, thanks for coming on today. Thanks for coming on.
I'm so happy to be on here. That was nice. A secret jab. I mean,
there you go. It's just a lot of co's, and I was like, this is, damn. Doesn't the guy do anything on his own? No, I really appreciate
some things.
There you go. All right, let's get into it. We only got 20 minutes. We could be here all day. Alwyn, what's your story? What's that spark for your fitness lifestyle?
I started. I grew up in a rough area, and I wasn't bullied as a kid, but you're just aware of violence. I can remember my mum talking to me when I was about 4 or 5. My dad was working nights and asking, did I know how to call the police or an ambulance if something happened, which is got to be a weird conversation to have with a 5-year-old, right, as a parent. So it's that kind of area. So I started in martial arts, and I remember being a green belt or a blue belt and watching the black belt middleweight final of the Nationals and realizing that the techniques, everybody had the same techniques. It was how they applied them that was going to be different. And I just immediately, was like a switch went in my head that I became fascinated that if you could be faster and stronger and have more conditioning, you could dominate the sport. Boxing only has 4 or 5 techniques. The guys apply them differently. And it just this like a switch that I just immediately understood. Didn't understand physio, but understood that was the magic. That was the thing. And I think there's a little part where one of the things I liked about martial arts is that, I wanted to be Batman growing up, and Batman doesn't have superpowers. He just learned everything. So I realized I could learn taekwondo, I could learn anything that anybody ever did, and if I just understood fitness and speed and conditioning, then that was, and that's what set me on my path. And when I was in college, my mum passed away of a heart attack due to obesity, and then it changed my direction. Like it changed my direction, that I was more interested in the general population. But it started with purely selfish reasons about being a better fighter, a better athlete.
So was the martial arts your main source? Because a lot of times with martial arts, it's what they do. It's almost like a gym. It's like they don't specifically go into the weight room, right? Or a lot of times you see martial artists that don't go in the weight room. They just spend a lot of time practicing the martial arts. Was that you, or did you start to say, I got to start, doing some more running? Or, you don't see that with martial arts, it seems like.
You don't. They almost think it's cheating, right? They think if you just did more martial arts, you'll be better. Like, there's a weird sort of cult-like, monk-like purity to just traditional training. But I realized they didn't let the heavyweights fight the lightweights, and they didn't let the heavyweight men fight the lightweight women. And the reason is not that they're too big, it's that they're too strong. So if I was a lightweight and I was as strong as a heavyweight, it would almost be not allowed because I had such an advantage. Like, you know what I mean? Like that hit through to me that the reason for weight classes is generally a bigger guy is stronger than a smaller guy generally, but there are exceptions to that. And I realized then that it was actually trying to make it safer because of strength. So strength is a massive advantage. And I think there's a thing that, as you learn more about training, that there's only so many qualities you can develop just by practicing the sport itself, right? And you're going to need a strong upper body to fight, but you're not really going to develop a strong upper body just by practicing. You are going to need to do some other stuff, and it's I mean, I didn't invent this stuff, but I realized it young. I realized that there was a way to. I don't want to say cheat the system because it's completely allowed and it's completely ethical, but it's to hack the system. Steroids are banned because they make you stronger and recover faster. There's weight classes because it's unsafe for a stronger guy to fight a smaller guy. We can hack the system by getting super strong, right? Getting super fast without using steroids, obviously, without gaining weight. You don't want to change weight classes, but I remember that just snapping into my head, and I had my instructor, Gary Campbell, was really forward thinking, and just we'd have us do a lot of unorthodox stuff. Like, we'd be looking at track athletes that were training near where we practice, and see the jumps and the things they were doing, and we would apply some of that stuff.
That's incredible because at the time, I mean, you're no spring chicken, so that wasn't like 10 years ago, I mean, so
11 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty incredible that your coaches had that foresight. Alwyn, who was your superhero growing up? Who was that person that kind of you also besides your parents, unless it is your parents, but that kind of gave you that direction, that kind of molded you a little bit more into the person you are today?
I think it was my taekwondo instructor again. It was Derek Campbell. I've told this story at a few seminars. My dad lost his job, and we couldn't afford lessons anymore, and I had to go, and I didn't have to go. I wanted to go and explain to them that I wasn't quitting and I would be back. It just was, a condition kind of outside my control, and my instructor then gave me a job teaching a kids class, and just to this day, you didn't have to, you just gave a shit, and outside my parents, it might have been the first guy I ever did, and it changed the direction of my life, because I not only wanted to be a fighter and make him proud, I wanted to be a coach, and I wanted to be him when I grew up, and it's like that moment, like if you look back at your life, that moment, I went on and became my fourth degree black belt. I got my visa to come here because of Taekwondo. I've won national championships and European and world medals. And the first time I was ever on a plane was because of Taekwondo. So we're on this call now because of that night, right? Because if I had quit Taekwondo, I don't know. One of my best friends growing up got murdered, and just headed in a different direction. And I just became that like I want to say like a jock. Like a complete jock about, like most guys are with football and baseball. I became that guy about Taekwondo. Just all I cared about was martial arts competitions. So it'll be him. He absolutely changed the direction of everything I was doing.
Yeah, I love that. I've heard that story before, and I do love that, because I think it's incredible to be able to look at a moment or a specific action, and that action was him letting you, come train there to help train some of the kids, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those little like you're at a crossroads then, right? And who knows where I would be? I wouldn't be a coach. I doubt I would have ended up in the US. I probably wouldn't have went to college, but I only went to become a better athlete. Like, it's just everything, right?
It's amazing. This is an interesting, I think I thought about this question with you. I thought I'm really interested in this answer, because I know you and Rachel have done, you've been co-participants in a lot of masterminds. And you've had a lot of famous people that you like, Tony Hsieh and I'm forgetting his name right now, the guy from Virgin, that I know you guys have kind of had just a lot of really incredible business people. Who are you looking up to? Who's your superhero now? Who are some people that are doing some great things that you kind of try to emulate?
There's a bunch. This one might surprise you. And aside from like Richard Branson and guys like that. Obviously the oncology team at UCLA, whenever I talk to them, you get a little bit excited. But every time I talk to him, Chris Poirier, I perform better. It's like he absolutely has the best intentions, and he really has the heart of making this industry better. Inside of him, and he just like every time I talk to him, I become really inspired. Like he's making a real mark in the field. So in my world, he outperforms Richard Branson.
That's incredible too, because for me, you and I probably wouldn't be on this conversation right now if it wasn't for Chris, because Chris was the one who started. He's nine, I'm going into my 10th year of the Strength Coach podcast, and he sponsored the Strength Coach podcast from day one and allowed me to kind of do what I did and get to where I'm getting as well. So love that answer. Alwyn?
Well, I think what's amazing, and I mentioned this before, is that people think that Perform Better is a seminar company because they're so good at that and they bring in so many amazing people. But what they do on a day-to-day basis is they sell equipment to gyms. They're so good at their side business that it's just so exciting to be involved with.
Absolutely, I love that saying too. It's amazing. It's a great point. Alwyn, who are you really trying to be a superhero to now? And I've said this with some other guests in terms of, you train clients, you train business owners, you train, you speak and you train trainers to train. Never mind even the ones that don't have a business. Who are you really trying to be a superhero to?
I wanted to be my Taekwondo instructor when I grow up. I want to be a guy that influences people. So right now on the first level it's my staff, my immediate staff. I've mentioned this to you before off the air, that I got a couple of people that they might be going to be the best there's ever been in our field, and I'm just hoping I don't mess them up. So on an immediate level it's them. On a bigger level, I want to reach the one that kid in a little town like I grew up in who just needs to see there's opportunity and needs to see that he can and he will, or she will. I just want to be there's a little one in the Proverbs that you might not be the richest or that have the biggest business or the biggest car, the biggest house, but you could change the world if you're just impactful in the life of a child. So mine is my when you say superheroes, my superpower hopefully is my ability to accelerate the learning of the next generation. Right, that I was learning stuff that there wasn't really formal education for this and training and learning a business. I can accelerate that and hopefully they'll all surpass me.
Yeah, I think what you and Rachel are doing as well with your fitness business consulting is the cool thing. When I think about what you guys are doing, is that when you're teaching people like Jason and Lauren Pack, who started out with 25 members and now they have 250, and they're doing amazing things and they're inspiring other fitness owners, and it just, the ripple effect of that is amazing. Yeah. So
that's the exciting part, is that I'll be one day I'll be disappeared sitting on a beach somewhere, and I'll see the amazing stuff that those guys are doing for their next level clients, and that excites me. Like, it's just about it's about that pay it forward. Like that, it sounds cliche, but that is what drives me.
Absolutely. Alwyn, what are we doing right in this business, in the fitness industry? What are some things that you love, that you're seeing that are happening? Because again, you're dealing with so many fitness business owners. What do you feel like we're doing right?
There's a tendency to focus on the negative, right? And at the top, there's people doing amazing stuff. You see someone like a Josh Henkin teaching the DBRT, and the passion it's just pouring out of them just to change people. You talk to Lauren and Jason, and it's so exciting to watch. Is that it's a business, it's a profession, it's an industry where the good people. The difference is they just care so much about their people, and it's just like I can't teach passion, right? And that's the cool thing, is I can't teach passion, and I don't have to, because these people just like Lauren's a perfect example. That kid smiles constantly. She's just amazing. So happy, and it's just like you can't be around her and not be happy. And her clients are blessed to be around her. I've got the kid working for me, Sawyer Gordon, who's just these people are gonna change the industry, and it's just people care so much about somebody that's not them is rare, and that happens a lot in our industry, and we need to not forget that these people care a lot about people. They care more about their clients than they care about themselves, and that's fantastic.
Absolutely. And I think already, so in such a short time on this show, we're hearing that from some of our guests, and we've had some amazing people on. So very cool. Alwyn, now it's time for the Stop and Give Me 5 segment, 5 rapid fire questions. So got a couple that are pertaining to you. Here we go. Worst injury sustained in martial arts?
Two front teeth smashed out with an elbow strike in an exhibition match by one of my very best friends who you've met, who was the best man at my wedding. So I didn't hold a grudge.
Nice. Worst injury induced?
Broken rib with the back kick that ended the fight immediately.
Favorite football, and by football we mean soccer, you and I know that. Favorite football player of all time?
Paul Scholes or Ryan Giggs. Tough one, both from Manchester United.
Nice.
Ryan Giggs, there, said
it. Besides the weather, the thing you miss most about living in Scotland?
Friends and family. I've been, I know it's rapid fire, but I've moved from Scotland to England to college to New York to California, so there's little chunks of my life. And my friends in Scotland have remained my friends the whole time. I wish I could see them more. If they all moved here, I don't know if I'd ever go back.
There you go. Nice. Alwyn, if you weren't doing what you're doing now, what do you think you'd be doing?
If timing was different, I think I would be pursuing the UFC. There was no real professional fighting career when I was at the top of my game. It didn't exist. That's just that'd be something cool, and I think maybe teaching taekwondo or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think I could not be teaching. I think if I was younger, I'd be competing with it. I think maybe people are born teachers, and that maybe this job chose me.
Absolutely. Alwyn, I know you read a lot of books. What's the last book that you couldn't put down?
The last book was, I think it's called TED Talks, the best TED Talks ever, or TED, something like that. It's a book by the guy who owns TED Talks. It's really about public speaking, a TED Guide to Public Speaking that was really good. And I recently reread The One Thing by Gary Keller that I want to read. I'm going to read that once a year for the rest of my life. So those two books are the most recent. I'm trying to reread a book for every new one I read.
That's cool. I think I saw that you said that. Very cool. Alwyn, are you working on anything that you're really excited about right now?
We're really growing our coaching group, the Results Fitness University. We call it our Mastermind VIP group, and we're working right now on our next mentorship, and we're going to plan a huge event for next year. And the first thing I do every day is I check in with those guys, and there's the ongoing. Their ongoing growth, just man, I sound like a proud father sometimes. Like I just get excited when I see the stuff these guys are doing. And the fact that I had a little part to play. I don't want to overstate my role. These are very driven people, but I was able to be like a part of the journey. That gets me up in the morning too. That gets me excited.
Absolutely. You guys are doing some great things. I know firsthand from being a former coaching member. So you guys are amazing. Alwyn, let's finish it up with the last minute here. What's the letter to your younger self? What's the advice you want to give yourself?
That's a good one. My dad once said to me when I was coming here that if you have an opportunity, you don't owe anything to your roots. Your roots are proud that you've continued on. I think I hesitated a lot to leave Scotland, to leave places, and with all the I don't think it's the cliche. I've never made a mistake. I've only had a learning experience. It didn't pan out the way I was hoping. But all the things, all my regrets are things I didn't do sooner. I would tell my younger self, there's such a big world out there, and yes, you can. And here's what you can. Don't think small. You think absurdly big.
Love it. Yeah, I think a lot of us think so small.
And keep your hands up when your friend spins with that elbow strike.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. Alwyn, that's our 20 minutes for today. So I want to thank you for coming on. You've been such a great inspiration, not only to me but to thousands of fitness professionals, and you've done an amazing job teaching not only fitness but the business of fitness, and you guys really are changing the way fitness is done. So thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. This is a really exciting format, and I'm really excited to listen to everybody else on this. It's going to be awesome. Well done. Proud of you.
All right, well, that's going to do it for episode 6 of the Stop and Give Me 20 podcast. Thanks again so much for listening, and thanks to Alwyn Cosgrove. Make sure you check out all the links to all his stuff at stop20podcast.com. That's stop20podcast.com. Don't forget, go to iTunes, subscribe to the show, leave us a review and a rating. It's really going to help us out. My name's Anthony Renna. Thanks so much for stopping by.